You got something to say to me?
Yeah, I got something to say to you. Thanks for coming on my show.
There we go, wow.
I'm doing good. You're a great coach, Jay. You're like Don Shula. Will you hit me with a baseball bat? Nah.
Tell us about Peyton's Places.
It's really the places that have made the NFL what it is today. The people that have been a part of those places. I went to those places and trying to tell the story of how the NFL was started, how it has grown through the years, and how it got to the point of its incredible popularity and success today.
Well, you met a guy whose touchdown record you broke, Brett Favre, and you met him in Green Bay. What was that like to be with Brett?
Look, you can't tell every story of 100 years, but there's certain places you just have to go. So I went to Green Bay, and Brett Favre took us on a little tour. He and I had a fun conversation at the same time.
Oh, let's take that look.
This car is Bart Starr's car that was presented to him for being the MVP of Super Bowl I.
You have a street named after you? A road?
I think it's an alley.
It's an alley.
Holmgren got the big street.
Holmgren did.
Go figure.
You lived here so long. Where'd you live? You lived not too far from the stadium, you said, right?
As a crow flies, less than a half mile.
Yeah. You could walk in your flip-flops.
You walk in your flip-flops.
Yeah.
People would say, look, there's a homeless guy out there. It looks like Favre. He's in his flip-flops, and he obviously took a wrong turn from somewhere.
All right. We are turning on Lombardi Avenue here, Brett. Yeah, that was really cool, Moore. And I remember it was a stick shift, and the producer said, Brett, can you drive a stick? And Brett looked at him like, hey, I drive tractors every day. This is nothing compared to the tractors that I drive around Mississippi. Brett and I drove that car over to Vince Lombardi's house. So to be able to do things like that and go to places like that, that's kind of why I signed up for this, this opportunity.
So you're in New York. You're on a skyscraper, and you're going to throw a football to Chris Carter, Hall of Famer Chris Carter.
That's not normal.
Whose idea was that?
Back in the 1920s, the forward pass was kind of like a circus act. I mean, nobody did it. So the Giants, in kind of trying to get a little buzz and publicity, had their two best players throw a pass to each other off a skyscraper. It was the old Radiator building, and they had media out there and wanted to see if they could complete this pass. So Chris Carter and I went back to the exact site.
Well, let's take a look.
Peyton, you do know they have a medical staff on premises just in case.
That's just in case. That's just kind of a formality.
Ready for takeoff.
All right, here we go. Omaha. Ah!
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay. Okay. We got problems, homie.
I don't know how they made the throw back in the 20s. There was no room to what I would call step up in the pocket more. I mean, it was a long throw. You need some momentum into that throw, and I didn't know whether it was worth it to complete the throw and fall off the building. I said, probably not. I'm not going to tell you what happened between Chris and I and the timing and the completion percentage, but we had to work for it, I'll say that.
All right, Peyton, tell us how you ended up in a backyard with a bunch of high school kids wearing an Elvis Presley costume.
I'm not sure I know the answer to that. Elvis Presley, whatever he was into, music, movies, got into karate, football, he was all in. I mean, he was all in. And so he had these plays that he drew up for these touch football games. I'm not gonna lie, pretty good plays.
Really?
So we went to this old field where he used to play these pickup games. I started out dressed in shorts and a t-shirt kind of as myself, and I said, you know something, I just feel like Elvis was more all in than this. I'm not really all in, I'll be right back. Came back as in a 70s Elvis suit. So I'm sure these guys are like, what in the world is this guy doing?
Well, let's see this. Let's see this one.
Quit looking at my chest hair. Look at the play. Concentrate. All right, we're going Jailhouse Rock. Be alert now for an audible mystery train. On one. Ready?
Aren't you Eli's brother or something?
Yeah, he'd be wearing an Elvis costume and white cleats, hanging out with a bunch of high school punks. Widen a little. Thank you very much. Easy, easy, easy. Check mystery train. You got it? Mystery train. Say, hey. Yes. Sideburns almost fell off.
God, you hit him in
One of my better throws, considering how restricted I was. I mean, it was tighter than the flak jacket and shoulder pads that you wear in an NFL game, and the sideburns and the glasses and the boots on. But it was authentic in the fact that it was in Memphis. It was on the same field where Elvis and his buddies played. And I think this whole journey, we have gone to the actual place, whether it's the Chris Carter pass that the Giants did or Elvis's old games. We went to that specific place. And when you're there, you do kind of feel it, and you kind of feel the history of it, and it all goes back to the NFL and football.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.